Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today is a very special day. We are kicking off Globant's Career Day week. Today is the first day of a whole week completed with different talks, workshops. The idea is to share with you different tools, insights, and workshops to give you the tools to grow in your career. My name is Juliana Marsili. I am a marketing manager for the global team. And here I'm surrounded by an amazing group of Globers who are together with me. Today, we will love to discuss about something that usually comes to every discussion, and is how is it that we can expand our career, moving to a different city, a different country? How does it feel? What is the experience of leading a team that is scattered across the world? So you have to work with people in different time zones, in different cities, and maybe it happens that while you are having breakfast, someone else is having lunch, and maybe someone else is sleeping. So it's quite a challenge, but also it's an opportunity. So here I would love to introduce the Globers who are here with me. We have Ekaterina Doina, who is a delivery manager at Globant. She started her career in Moldova. She then moved to Romania, and she's currently living in Germany. So quite a journey, Ekaterina. Thank you for joining us. Then we have Jonathan Talavesa. You're welcome. Jonathan, he's from Peru. He had some experience working in the US, and he's been working in Saudi Arabia for the last couple of months. So I'm sure he will have a lot of experiences to share with us today. We have Jorge Recalde, who is from Argentina, the same way as I am. He moved to Romania, where he is currently working. And we have Marco Locchi, who is a software designer. Marco is based in Italy. And I'm wondering where's the people that is joining us today in the LinkedIn. We would love to know for you to let us know where is the city you are based and from which country are you joining us today. Okay, so let's get started. The idea is for us to share our personal experiences, some lessons, some things we are still learning, but this is a huge opportunity to discuss. And I invite everyone in the LinkedIn Live, if you have any questions, any comment, any personal experience you would like to add to the discussion, it will be amazing to have them as well. Okay, so let's get started then. One of the things that usually happens is while leading teams across the world is how do we manage to make our teams seem like get connected, to get to know each other, to build trust, to make them feel motivated while they are not sharing the same room. So that is kind of the breaking the ice. I don't know, guys, if someone wants to start. Maybe Marco, do you have any thoughts there?
Yeah. As you said, you agree. You're right. Working remotely in a distributed team can be hard sometimes. Why? Because, in my opinion, people need to communicate. People need to stay connected, and people need to stay motivated. No. Today, I would like to share with you 3 tips that the result of my experience. I tried a lot of ways to reduce the gap between working in office and working remotely. I think that these 3 tips can help in most of cases, let me say. The first one is to create virtual spaces for fun and relaxing. Because we know when you are in the office, we have a lot of moments to communicate with other people, not only with people of your team, also with people of your company. We have coffee breaks, we have lunchtime, we have the breakfast in the morning. We can organize aperitifs or dinners after our working day. And in my teams, we created virtual spaces for fun or relaxing to communicate. For example, we created virtual coffee meetings during the day. We created virtual beer meetings during at the end of the week. Obviously, it depends on the time zone because for me, I'm close to finish. For someone from Argentina, it's morning. It's a little bit complex. But in any case, we create also moments for build for games. Obviously, every team is different. People are different. We need to try a way to create these moments during the week. But it's not important how you do it. The important thing, in my opinion, is to create these moments. Because if you don't have these moments, the risk is to have not a team, but only people that work together on the same project. That is different. I don't know if you agree or not. The second tip is to improve feedback moments. In my opinion, is very, very important. In particular, positive feedbacks. In my teams, we introduced the kudos system into retrospectives. During the first 10 minutes, we take time where every team member should share at least one piece of feedback, positive feedback to another teammate. I really like this moment because I saw that the people love to receive positive feedback. I think that it improves the friendship and the team spirit. The third point is related to practices. I encourage everyone to embrace pair programming. I don't know if all people know what pair programming is. It is a string programming practice where two people work together, work together on the same task, sharing the screen. And they share ideas, discuss about different approaches, find better solutions, solve problems faster, and in particular, continue to learn every day from each other. In this way, we can add continuous feedback that is important for communication. We can add continuous learning that is very important for motivation. And also we can improve knowledge sharing that is important for connection and cohesion about the team. And the final result is a strong team, very strong. And this is my 3 tips for today.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Marco, something that is very interesting that you said, like each tip works for each team, like it's unique to each team. In my experience, for example, games didn't work.
No,
but I feel that every time you schedule, like people feel like they need to play,
exactly,
they won't be
exactly.
that
It's
encouraged. But if it's more like natural, something that
absolutely.
For example,
Yes.
you start a call a Monday and you talk about the weekend and something like more informal, that is a way in which you connect on a more personal way. And in terms of challenges, as you were saying, like people are on different time zones. So maybe when you say a coffee, it may sound weird for someone in a different time.
Exactly.
And time zones is something, for example, Jonathan, that is in Saudi Arabia. How do you feel about that, Jonathan, like working with people in different time zones? How do you manage, or how you try to manage that?
That's a really interesting point. Thank you for raising it, Juliana. By the way, I loved your points, Marco. I'm taking notes on some of them. But yeah, definitely, I think one of the challenges I have faced here, that in the past I have faced it, but here in Saudi and in UAE it has been harder. I have people from the team that have a difference of 11 hours with each other. So imagine, and with myself also it can be 8 or 9 hour difference depending on the country of the person. So I think one of the main things is knowing that in general the communication between people is something standard and that everybody has, let's say, different needs that are relevant to all teams. For example, one person can have the need, as Marco mentioned, to have fun and connect with other team members. They have the need to understand also the vision and objectives of the project they are working on. They have the need to receive support from their leaders when they need to escalate something. Or imagine if they get sick, they need a channel to be able to say, hey, I need to disconnect and take some time off, right? So in general, it's about the different situations that one specific individual can face. And for that, my point of view is one must enable for all of those cases like specific artifacts and channels. For example, you can have a channel just for fun that independent of the time difference, people can just throw memes or videos about what they are doing on their daily basis and so on. And that's independent of the time zone because maybe they won't have time to connect synchronously. Okay, so even if you set a virtual meeting and so on, that's true. But sometimes there is always one person that because of that 11-hour difference won't be able to connect. So having a channel dedicated for those type of communications can work. Same as well for, let's say, sharing objectives of the project. Sometimes an all hands meeting can work, but some specific people as well, because of the time zone, it might be hard. So you can have some recordings and some source of truth, like documentation about the objectives of the project that you always keep it up to date and that people can refer to. So it's channels and artifacts that you always keep up to date and that people know that they can use them. And of course, for emergencies and urgencies, I think that's the hardest part because as a leader, those will always happen. So I always tell my team, so um, in emergencies or extreme cases, feel free to reach me sometimes in WhatsApp. Again, that's personal to me. I know that some people might not like that, but I feel like giving that sense of you can connect to me anytime, even if it's outside of the working hours, since I know it's an emergency, I will be there to support, right? And I will try my best always. So that's it.
Yeah, amazing. And how important it is for our teams to feel supported, right? Like, and the other way around, when we are offline, like to trust our team will continue to make things happen. What do you think about this, Katerina? Because maybe we had some discussions in the past that maybe you tried something that worked at some point, but then it didn't work then. Like, you need to keep on evolving your strategies. What is your experience about this?
Absolutely, definitely, as we already managed. Flexibility and continuing being curious about our teams, about our each individual's hobbies, needs, personal life. It's so important, and it becomes even more important in our hybrid and in our remote working approach. What I found also very interesting is that we need to involve each team member in being responsible of proposing some engagement activity. So it's not just us as managers, as leaders saying each time, okay, let's do a beer evening, let's do a gaming session. So we need to let them also come up. One of the most interesting idea we had in the team, we didn't manage to do it, but it's on our to-do list, is like having a live cooking evening. So someone sharing our culture by just setting a meeting and saying, okay, we are now chopping the onions, we are now adding the potatoes or something like this. It really can be very creative and we can connect in different ways. We can learn from our culture and really become the team that Marco was mentioning at the beginning.
Yeah, and also, well, we are receiving some questions, which is amazing. Jonathan, you mentioned having different channels. Do you have any platforms or channels you will suggest to maintain that communications with your team? And how much time do you spend in meetings with remote members? They're asking us.
Okay. Great. So platforms, well, in Globant, we love Slack, right? And it's a platform that in general in other companies as well, I have loved myself the most. So I love Slack. I think like it's a very open platform to be able to create channels for different purposes and keep them organized in a way that works and that you can even customize your notifications so that depending on the criticality of them, you receive them or not, or you can manage that. Aside from that, definitely I think it's relevant to keep up to date, like, for example, some Confluence pages again about objectives of the project or about what is the source of truth about the direction we are following. So for communication channels, it's more like Slack, which gives you the flexibility itself about chatting with team members. And then Confluence more about the documentation per se, about the project, the purpose of that. Meetings, well, we use Google, but any type of platform, I think like Microsoft, Google, I think it's in general for meetings can work. Zoom as well. So it's more about the standard that each company has, and I think just using the existing platforms for that. About time in meetings, I personally spent a lot. Definitely, I think that's one of the challenges, and I'm trying to see how to improve that. To be honest, I think there are still a lot of things to learn when coming to relocate to another region. So I would love to see actually the opinion from somebody else as well. Maybe what do you think, Jorge, or what do you think as well, Ekaterina, to see your thoughts on this. It's a challenge that I'm facing, and I would like actually to receive some information about how you're managing.
It is definitely much more time we are investing in the meetings. However, in these 4 years or even more now, we are working mainly remote. What I changed, it's not, I don't see a meeting like another hour just spent on some topics. I really see it as an opportunity to connect with my team. And each time before I start this meeting and after, I realize what I wanted to achieve, where we are, and is there anything we can do different? Because of course, each of us needs our time to do our activities, our tasks, and we need our focus time. In the same time, without communication, without having this space to hear each other, it's really difficult to succeed. So definitely changing our approach, our attitude towards these meetings, which are not just some time we are spending, it's really the value we are getting out of this time and the way we connect with the people and how we are building this trust relationship is important.
Yeah, and it depends on the project, right? For example, in my case, we used to have daily meetings, and then at some point we didn't have an agenda every single day. So then we agreed as a team, like, hey, maybe we need to connect 3 times a week, and then for specific topics we can meet. So you start like creating like a kind of puzzle with different meetings and different focuses. But I feel that the key it is to agree that as a team, so everyone feels like part of the decision. Jorge, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, I agree with the Katerina. I mean, I don't see meetings is something bad. For me, it's really very practice. What I do as a tip is try to keep it 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but take your time to explain, not to through emails or messages. I mean, it saves a lot of time. So sometimes we think that having meetings or spending too much time in meeting is something that is negative. Of course, you need time also to focus. So organize your time. I remember, Marco, we were discussing also about having your time to focus on work, and then do not hesitate on setting a meeting for 10 minutes. It will save a lot of time sending emails back and forward or chatting and trying to explain better. You have the possibility to communicate and to know the other people. No, also to have a small talk and know more. As you said at the beginning, Marco, it's important to let the people the space to communicate things, not necessarily the one that you are targeting because you want to send a message, but you need to be also be ready for listening others. So having meeting, and I like this new feature that is meeting by default are 20 minutes. And I use it in that way. I mean, it's very difficult for me to, set up a meeting for 1 hour. I mean, it's too much time, but 20 minutes is okay. 10 minutes is okay too.
Yeah, and something Marco mentioned in the past in some previous discussion is something we usually feel it's a challenge, like to switch off from work. Like in Globant, we have the chance of, depending on the project, some of us work from home, some go to the office, and some do kind of a mix. I personally enjoy going to the office and having that mix. As Marco was saying, having the chance to connect with people outside, like a specific call for a specific topic. And Marco, you mentioned like a tactic you have, like to close your day, that I thought it was super interesting. Do you want to share?
Yeah, obviously, I am a developer and I love practices. No, I use another practice for it. It is the journal practice. It's a moment at the end of the day where you can take 5-10 minutes, and consider it should be a shared and public journal, not a private one. So it's not the personal journal. But usually, what I do during this moment, I put in a chat on a paper what I did, for example, the challenges, the solutions, the next steps for the day after, and also open questions. This practice is very useful for all people in general, because it can improve the transparency about what we are working on, the results of the day, and in particular also if you have an open question, sometimes can happen that someone else also outside your team can read about your problem and can say, hey, I already solved this problem. Today I can help you in some way. It's amazing. But for me, for this particular topic, it's very useful because it is like as a put the finish line on your working day. No? Okay, I completed. I do tomorrow. I have to do something else, but now I finished it, and then now I can focus on other things and other interests. And I suggest to try at least for 1 week this practice. It's not easy because sometimes most of times it happens that you finish later. You don't have time to spend for another activity. But if you are able to try this practice for at least 1 week, I'm sure that you can keep a lot of advantages from this practice.
I will
Amazing.
definitely try it, Marco, because I will be very honest with you. I'm really struggling into still finding, after so many years of working from home. For me, my office is in my living room, and it's always a challenge to say, okay, now it's lunchtime, and then it's dinner time, and we need to. It all depends on the priorities and how engaged I'm in the topic. In the same time, what I noticed during the years what changed is that on this to-do list, I'm following, as you also say, Marco, each at the beginning of each week, each month, each end of each week, which are the top critical things I want to do. I also started to have some personal items. It's not just about the project. In past, I never managed to invest any type of time during the week. Everything personal was handled in the weekends or in the day offs. What I see now, and which I really believe it's a benefit of how the work life is evolving, is that I can do still something important. Maybe I can do a doctor appointment, especially in Germany when weekends are off. Everybody is off, so you cannot do anything in weekends. And then I can work more in the evening, or I can cover for a specific task during the weekend. And this flexibility really gives me more control and gives me the feeling that I improve the balance between work and everything else around work that we are doing on our life.
Yeah, what you mentioned, Ekaterina, is like how things work in Germany and compared to maybe your hometown, you know? And we are all getting used to a different country, different city. Most of us relocated to a different place for a job opportunity. So maybe, Katerina, would you like to share a little bit about your experience? How was it that you pursued that challenges in the different cities? And do you recall any moment in which you felt like, hey, yeah, this was the right decision. This was the kind of experience I was looking for, and I'm enjoying it?
Absolutely. Every day I realized that my career growth and development was linked to the relocation opportunities I have. It was first of all relocated to Romania, which was quite easy. We are same culture, we speak the same language. Still, it was first time I was leaving my hometown, so it was a bit of a challenge. In the same time, I received all the support from all the help from amazing people I met in Romania. And it was really smooth. After already, I think 5 weeks, I was sure this is a great opportunity and I will have a lot of things to do. Quite interesting, but initially the opportunity was for 1 year, and 7 years later, I was still in Romania. I was very already moved through across several projects, several roles, and I was enjoying the life there with a lot of friends. from work, but also outside work, and it really was an amazing opportunity. When I moved to Germany, it was the same. 1 year, we need a product owner. I never had a product owner experience before, so I really accepted the double challenge, moving to a new country, moving to a new role, a very big client, and it was again amazing. All the efforts I've seen around the people to help me integrating and the way we grew together in these 5 years now. So of course it was not 1 year, and it made me realize that you can have multiple homes, because this is how I feel now. I feel like I'm home in Moldova. I feel like I'm home in Brasov in Romania, and I'm also home here in Germany. So that's the beauty of accepting the challenge of relocating. You are meeting amazing, beautiful people. You are experiencing a lot, and your career is just having a boost. It's absolutely like this.
I love what you said about having multiple homes, because what usually happens to me is I get people confused because I talked about home meaning Buenos Aires or meaning Madrid. Like, for me, it's the same. So people are like, what are you talking about? Like home or home? And so it's kind of fun, but yeah, I agree with you. And for you, Jorge, how does it feel? How was for you, like, quite a change to move from Argentina to Romania?
Yeah, first I feel the same. When people ask me, where are you from? It's not that easy to answer. Where are you from? Sometimes I'm traveling, I don't know, to visiting client or visiting the office in a different location, but I am from Romania. And right now I live here. That's my home. Here is where I can move with my family. So yeah, definitely that's an interesting aspect of our life. Well, regarding I agree with Ekaterina. I guess growing is always about going in, pursuing new opportunities. Okay, places where you think that you can learn. It could be another area within the same company, or in my case, for example, it was I was looking for feeling that sensation on a startup in a big company for 25,000 employees. It was not that easy, but when I hear about the opportunity of that we were growing in Romania specifically, we were around 100 employees on that time. Now you can see we have a big office, more than 600 people today in Romania, plus Moldova and other countries. So I guess the only way to feel that sensation or to see the challenges of how is creating a new organization, or how is starting in a new location with Globant, was moving here. When I was at the beginning, I was in Colombia and Argentina working there, and there were big companies there. We are the main employers in that market. So here we have everything to do in Romania, and we are doing very well. Jonathan, I guess you are feeling the same experience right now in your location. We are growing a lot there too. But I saw this happening. I mean, I wanted to pass through that experience. That's why I choose that opportunity. And it is, I guess, for everybody. I mean, it's not, of course, there are a lot of challenges. It's not comfortable. In my case, I moved here with my family, so it's not only my personal project, it was also my wife project and my children projects. I moved here with my daughter and my son. For them was the opportunity also to move to Europe. They have the chance now to study here at the university. They are teenagers. They are starting on that age of choosing the university, so they have more opportunities here. So for them was also something that you need to take into consideration. It's not only you, but also the environment, no? But yeah, that's my experience. Just follow the challenge, and you will see how to grow there.
Jonathan, would you like to share a little bit about your experience? You said to me earlier today, like, hey, you talked about this kind of startup mindset or experience. How does it feel like building everything from scratch there in Saudi?
Yeah, I feel totally connected with what Jorge and Ekaterina mentioned, like really, really connected. And I feel specifically I would like to address and add one other point that I would invite everyone to reflect when thinking of relocating abroad, that it's not only about the challenges you would face at work at a different culture, but also on a personal level, it's an opportunity to connect with different cultures, with a diversity of mindset that it also invites you to grow on a personal level. And I think I am a firm believer that when you develop personally, that totally impacts how you work and the leadership and your styles in general in life. So that has been in Saudi something enlightening to me. Like I knew ahead that it was going to be a completely different culture, and some things that I like to do back in Peru, potentially it would be harder to do them here. But again, I took it very positively to be open to connecting with people with different mindsets, different hobbies, and I am really loving that experience of being able to open to that and connect with how they live and grow personally on that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people usually reach out to us like saying, "Hi, how did you manage to have this opportunity? How was the experience?" And personally, what I believe is sometimes you're super sure about the decision, so you look for the opportunity, and some other times the opportunity comes to you without even realizing. So you need to be ready to grab that challenge with everything that it involves. And what I wanted to ask you, all of you, is what would you tell what would you say to someone who is like thinking about like, hey, maybe it's a good opportunity, but I'm scared because everything changes. What would you say to someone who is looking for, or at least wondering about having a professional experience in a different city or a different country?
Maybe I can start. What I
Sure.
would suggest is definitely ensure that the opportunity is something that you love. You are passionate about it, and then everything you will do towards moving, towards meeting new people, towards building your new life, and as I was mentioning before, creating your new home will be easy. In the same time, I tried a bit to prepare for everything what Germany will mean. It was a bit of waste of time. Nothing that I read before was true. So just be open and ask for help. Ask people around you. There are so many nice people around that will help us, and they already went through this experience and they already know it. So there is no reason exploring, reading blogs, chats, I don't know what. It's much easier just to say, okay, I have this issue, I don't know how to handle it. Could you please help? And this really saved a lot of time in my experience, every time. And also it was an opportunity to create friends just by asking, being vulnerable sometimes, admitting that I was maybe not prepared enough, maybe I don't know where to look. And it was really amazing to see how friendly everybody was around me, and how quick I managed to find solution to all the challenges. So that's my advice. Don't be shy, just ask for help and create new relationship.
Yeah, and although if each one has to need to do their own journey, I mean, I am sure that my journey was unique, but also it's good to connect with people that already passed through this experience. Okay, people like, for example, myself, I am being asked all the time that somebody wants to come to Romania or Eastern Europe. I like to share my experience and see how others. I will recommend to connect with others also to know a little bit. The same thing, Jonathan. I know Jonathan is also being in discussion with people that is moving there, because I mean, I guess our view of the experience is different than the experience of the local people, the people that is living in the country. They don't have the necessity of doing a lot of things that we have. Also, so I guess we can create a network of support. Of course, Globant help us, the organization help us to connect with others, but that is really important. I mean, how we can learn from the experience of others and to be more prepared. I always share the story about the family doctors, that we don't have this figure in Argentina. And here in Romania was something that everybody knows what it is. Okay, so nobody takes the time to explain me the first time until I need it. So now I am able to share that experience with others, and it's easier for everybody to get there and understand from the perspective of a person that is moving. What are the needs there? Okay. Also, Ekaterina, I guess also you mentioned the feeling vulnerable. It helped us to open our mind, Jonathan, a lot. I agree with you that it became us also give us a lot of new skills to identify and to empathize with others, no? About being, I mean, sometimes you need to do some paperwork and you don't know how to do, and you need to ask for help. Okay, so yeah, in the past you can do everything by yourself, and now you need help. That's a totally different situation that help us to grow.
Yeah, and it feels kind of a roller coaster, because what I felt when I came here to Spain is like you kind of reset yourself. Like you need to find a house, find have your documents. Like people talked about to you about neighborhoods you don't know about. Like, and maybe you are meeting with someone and you don't know where to go. So it's kind of a very enriching experience, I believe. We have one question here from Roger that says, do you have growth path programs? And I can take that one, and please, team, feel free to chime in. Yes, at Globant, we have different programs. At Globant, we are super confident about like giving the autonomy and flexibility for people to grow in the way they want. So there are programs for each of us to grow within our roles. So you have like different seniorities and you keep on growing. Some other way of growing will be changing to a different role. I'm having my third role within Globant, so I'm talking from experience. Like you have the chance to reinvent yourself and have the opportunity to develop in different areas, and also you have the chance, as we were saying, to have experiences in different cities, different countries, and different projects as well. Like in Globant, we have like different clients from different industries. So there is a platform, so like it's open career, where people could apply to different job openings within the organization. So you have the chance to raise your hand and say, hey, I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready for a new experience. And so that's how some of us included, I believe, Jorge, you changed your position, or Jonathan, anyone wants to add your personal experience there?
Yeah, definitely. We have for technical career, we have very well set up the different seniorities and what is required to move to the following step. Of course, that this is again a personal journey. We have the railroads, but you are the engine from the railroads based on the experiences that you are pursuing. I mean, raising the hand, as you said, Juliana, when the opportunity arises, you need to raise the hand. And we have many solutions to help people to be ready. Okay, that is our main goal as Globant for Talent Grow, is to help Globers to be ready for moving in the next step. And then is something that's happening, opportunities arise, and you are ready. That's the idea of the growing path. I personally, I moved from different roles to different locations. I guess everybody here can tell you that taking different, moving from different areas, you are creating more opportunities for your career.
Yeah, and something we can mention is talking about mentoring. We have a lot of mentoring programs within Globant, because sometimes you feel you are ready for a change, but you're not sure in which direction to move on. That happens to all of us throughout our career. So I think having the figure of a mentor, it's super important. And actually, for everyone who is there in the LinkedIn Live, what we are doing is you will find in the chat a link. So we're inviting everyone who would like to join a mentoring session to sign up there in the link, and we will be assigning some slots to have some mentoring sessions with us or with some other Glovers. So please sign up there. It will be a great opportunity to talk with someone from the industry and maybe guide you as regards where to go or which will be the first step to take. Okay, guys, I think we are running out of time. It was by so fast. I really enjoy talking with you. I think we could have like spent 1 hour more like talking and exchanging different experiences, but I think we're on time. What I want to remind you everyone is this is Careers Week, so this is the first session of a bunch of sessions you will have throughout the week. And actually, after this one, you will find another talk on Twitch talking about AI and talent development. I believe there are some questions regarding what is the impact of AI on our growth and on our development. So I feel it's a great opportunity for you to join that session. They will be on Twitch. So please, team, if you can share that link on the chat, that would be amazing for people to make it easier. And I don't know, Ekaterina, Jonathan, Jorge, Marco, I really enjoyed this time. I don't know if you want to add any final remarks before we wrap up.
Just be brave. There are unlimited opportunities around us, and everything that comes, just accept it and work towards it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
again, the same thing. Raise your hand when the opportunity, you see the opportunity, raise your hand and take it.
I'd like to say, like, embrace uncertainty and just be open to new experiences, because I think in general there are so many right now in life, and with the growth and expansion of, let's say, remote and international opportunities, to always look for that and embrace the uncertainty and the fear with vulnerability, as Ekaterina mentioned before, and it's going to be a lovely experience in the end.
Marco, any final remarks?
Oh, it is the same. Embrace your change. Embrace the change, because it's incredible opportunity to grow. It's the most important thing.
Amazing. So thank you, team, for joining us today. Thank you for everyone who are on the LinkedIn Live. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more and have a lovely week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.